Get ready to see one of the best tech gadget I own as a creative. Now in a light version, thanks TourBox. Right off the bat, I'll say that I still really like using a TourBox compared to something like the Stream Deck. The TourBox Lite would be a good investment for artists and creatives who make a living out of what they do. Due to it being fairly entry-level compared to its siblings, this could be used by non-creative people who highly value productivity.
I have coupons down below if you want a discount on TourBox products.
I have a confession to make. I haven't updated my TourBox software in so long. I think I haven't updated it since I first reviewed the product. I definitely missed out on features like more key combinations and the tour menu. So for those people who got the TourBox around the same time as me, this is your sign to update. Anyway, the tour menu is a lifesaver for the TourBox Lite. There are certain key combinations not available on the Lite, so you can just put a lot of shortcuts there. Additionally, if there are hotkeys that you seldom use, you can just put them in the tour menu. This feature saves me quite a lot of time in the long run, and also saves me some headaches too, because all of the useful things can be found in one place. Setting it up is a little finicky. I wish there was a drop-down button for hotkeys, but I think it wouldn't be too much of a trouble if you are creating your own presets though. It is only more difficult for presets that you download online, especially if those presets were made with the TourBox Neo or the TourBox Elite in mind. I have been using the TourBox Lite for a while for my rigging work, illustrations, as well as school stuff. I've been previously using the TourBox Neo. Using the Lite is honestly no sweat for me since a lot of buttons are familiar, but I still find myself reaching for the D-pad and side buttons. Damn muscle memory. I did have to spend some time adjusting to the Lite since I had just gotten so used to the Neo, but the Lite was able to work for me with some adjustments like clicking on the tools or using the tour menu more. Again, it is very easy to use once users get the hang of it, and a lot of time is saved in the long run. I literally only use my keyboard to name my layers. What I like about the TourBox Lite though, the buttons feel different from the Neo. They feel a little less sticky and stuck, especially for these two circular buttons right here. The body and the buttons have an overall better feel compared to the Neo, and I'll elaborate more why in the next section. If you want the same amount of buttons as the Neo and the same feel of the Lite, I think you'll have to go with this option of the TourBox Elite. It'll just cost way more. The Elite has Bluetooth too. I recommend really thinking about what you need since TourBox has different products now. I also did mention that I use this for school. I do see a potential that the Lite could be used by people who work with certain softwares that don't really use a lot of naming and only really use hotkeys. After spending 2 years with the TourBox Neo, do I think it's worth it? I really do think so. It is one of the best pieces of tech I own as someone who draws and rigs VTuber models. I have tried using my Stream Deck. I keep on saying Steam Deck in some of the cuts, so if I say that, I'm sorry. I mean Stream Deck. I personally like the experience with the TourBox better, since all of the buttons are different and it's easier for me to make the connections because of the shapes of the buttons. I find that it feels better on my hands too, and if you are making a good amount of money from commissions, this would be a good investment if you want to make your workflow more seamless and save your fingers from doing weird yoga poses. I think the only thing that I am not keen about the Neo is its coating. Tech that has this soft rubber coating type thing generally don't do well in the long run. It gets sticky and icky, and it just feels so gooey on your hands. It's not. The same thing happened to my Logitech MX3. I had to buy a wrap for it because the coating started feeling so sticky, and yeah, it just degraded over time. And lastly, do I think the TourBox is necessary? No, not really. I mean, I used to live with just a keyboard and clicking around. Also, if you already have the tools that you can use to map hotkeys like the Stream Deck and display tablet remotes, the TourBox might be a tough choice, especially if you are in a tight budget. So you'll probably have to use your keyboard for more hotkeys since some devices like that could be limited, and you might need to move your hand around more, look at the device more, or spend a little more time memorizing the hotkeys since all of the buttons are pretty similar. But if you don't have a hotkey slash controller thingy yet, I highly recommend the TourBox because of its unique features, and I just prefer it way more than an array of square buttons. All in all, I think it is a great luxury, and it is also a great addition to a creative's arsenal, and honestly also for anybody who highly values productivity and saving every second. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you guys have gotten to know the TourBox Lite a little more. And if I have managed to convince you to get one of the TourBox products, I do have some coupons down below. Lastly, I'd like to thank TourBox for sponsoring me once again. See y'all next time. Bye bye.